The question I couldn't even formulate was looking to take shape. It was an invisible presence. Whenever I would play, it was with me. Whenever I would open the door, it was with me. It was with me at school. It didn't have a voice. It was made more of absence than of presence. I found this book that tells the story of more than 500 African descent actors and entertainers in the Italian cinema. Cujo, in the evil language of my father, means born on Monday. And in fact, it is true. I was born on a Monday, but not in Ghana. I was born in Italy. In 1915, over 100 years ago, a black actor appeared for the first time in an Italian movie, Domenico Gailo's film Salammbô. This actor, however, was not acknowledged in the film credits.
Per tutte le popolazioni dell'Etiopia, il popolo italiano dato col suo sangue l'impero, ne sarete voi degni!
Every trace of Italian colonialism in Ethiopia, Somalia and Eritrea during the first part of the 20th century has been erased from popular memory in Italy. In New York, one place to find information on the Italian colonial past is Casa Italiana Zerilli Marimò, the NYU Italian Studies Department located between 12th Street and 5th Avenue. A book on cinema in the Italian Empire era was recently published. In fact, the goal of Italian colonialism during the fascist period was to establish an empire.
African women can be portrayed under a few categories, and one of them is the exotic. The background, the ethnographic appeal and tourist appeal and exotic appeal of the colonies, because these films were made in part to convince Italians to travel there and to also settle there. So the appeal of the African woman, which was also marketed as a sexual appeal through the song Faccetta Nera and the whole cult of the African woman.
Here, in Cinecittà Studios in Rome, in 1943, Carmine Gallone directed Knockout Harlem, a film in which black characters are infantilized and are denied language. It's a propaganda film that aimed to show the triumph of a white Italian boxer over a black American boxer. All the black actors are prisoners of war. A few years back, I worked on a film as a stand-in for an actor whose name is Michael Ealy. The film was about African American soldiers who fought in Tuscany in World War II. The director of the film has been one of my idols since high school. I remember at the time I would carry his photo in my wallet. Meeting Spike Lee changed my artistic life and the life of many Afro-Italian actors.
Spike Lee, nel film che girò in Toscana, Miracolo a Sant'Anna, abbiamo avuto un'occasione, non solo io, ma quasi un centinaio di ragazzi, aspiranti attori, attori di seconda generazione, tutti di origine afro-italiana, hanno avuto l'opportunità di lavorare, integrarsi in un ambiente aperto, positivo, senza restrizioni.
In Italia esiste un problema sul métissage, in quanto l'Italia è un paese che ha rimosso il suo passato coloniale.
Il Mulatto is a film about Angelo, a child of mixed origins. His mother died when he was a young child, and her Italian husband, who was in prison when Angelo was born, can't wait to meet him. But problems arise when the father realizes that because of the color of Angelo's skin, Angelo could not be his son. At the end of the film, an African-American uncle comes from the US to Italy, and the husband of Angelo's mother gives the uncle custody of the child to bring him back to America. The first black people I saw on Italian television were Brazilian soccer players like Tonino Cerezo or Junior, or NBA players like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Julius Erving. Just a few years later, shows like The Jeffersons, Different Strokes and The Cosby Show came to Italy. My unconscious question while watching TV was always the same. Why is it that when you see black people on Italian television, they are either African or African American, but they are never Italian?
Ritrovavo ad aspettare magari un'ora e mezza per poi andare a fare un ruolo l'extracomunitaria appena arrivata da Lampedusa, oppure la donna dello spacciatore, oppure la prostituta che sta de notte tutta nuda.
Mi resi subito conto che non c'erano ruoli, non scrivevano ruoli neanche al cinema.
Perché non si scrive.
C'è questo problema di pigrizia mentale per cui i neri fanno sempre e solo ruoli legati al problema sociale.
E ho avuto proposte solo per ruoli da extracomunitario.
Da fare un provino da una casting mandato dalla regista, se cercano un attore per fare un medico. E lei mi dice, guarda, io ti conosco da tanti anni, tu sai che rapporto che c'è con te, ma io non posso farti questo provino, perché noi lavoriamo per stereotipi e tu sei uno stereotipo.
Un ragazzo che portava la droga nella scuola, mai che portava la felicità, ma sempre il problema.
Ma basta con queste colf, questo insomma è ancora molto provinciale.
I ruoli che vengono scritti al cinema, tutti i ruoli di bassa manovalanza.
Rosso deve fare per forza il buttafuori, oppure
Babysitter o la prostituta.
Il fratello della prostituta nigeriana.
E il lavavetri.
Autista, la guardia del corpo.
Terrorista arabo, venditore di tappeti.
La mamma di qualcuno africano, brasiliano.
E l'immigrato clandestino.
Sempre una disgraziata nullatenente, analfabeta e ignorante.
USCT, United States Colored Troops, and the white guys were United States soldiers.
There were only about 4,000 blacks serving in the military, mostly assigned to menial logistic jobs. However, on June 25, 1941, due to pressure from the Afro-American associations, President Roosevelt signed the Fair Employment Act, prohibiting racial discrimination in the national defense industry.
The military was still segregated. There were white units and black units. All the upper grade officers were white. The lower grade officers were black.
When I was in the military, the Army was discriminated, or there was discrimination in the Army, segregated really, which is the reason for the 92nd Division.
Because they didn't want that many black soldiers in any one southern city. And then when Fort Huachuca became available, that's a post out in Arizona near the border, nothing around it. So we couldn't contaminate the community by our blackness.
There were hundreds of cases of abuse and racial discrimination inflicted upon the African American soldiers, although they were serving their country. Many of these cases can be found in the book, The Invisible Soldier.
I think there was a relationship that developed between the Italians and the Buffalo Soldiers. Partly because a lot of the Buffalo Soldiers were poor, and a lot of the Italians they met were poor. They were country people. A lot of the Buffalo Soldiers were country people, and they were treated so well by the Italian civilians.
You've spent 3 years in a war, now you gotta come home and get on the back of the bus. I was very upset when I got home and discovered that no black American soldier had received the Medal of Honor for World War II, my war.
With the honors that would be bestowed upon a visiting dignitary, Lieutenant Vernon Baker was welcomed back to Tuscany in a memorable ceremony of friendship amongst the African-American population and the Tuscan people. It is a friendship born during the sad and difficult times of World War II, and it is a friendship that was renewed on the dawn of the new millennium.
When victory was complete in World War II, our government made a pledge to correct cases in which medals of honor were deserved but not awarded. Today, America honors that pledge. On behalf of the United States Congress, I award the Medal of Honor, our nation's highest military award, to Vernon Baker. A soldier who receives the Medal of Honor usually needs no further description. But we must remember something else here today. These heroes distinguished themselves in another, almost unique way. In the tradition of African Americans who have